Okay, so this sheet is similar to one we've done before. The only thing that's different is we've got a stem and leaf plot here. And so we're going to learn about stem and leaf plots today. Let's go ahead and start with problem number 1. What fraction does this model represent? And then what decimal does this model represent? Okay, remember when we've got the whole thing shaded in, that's a whole. And we put our wholes together and our parts separate. So how many wholes do we have? We have 2 wholes. So you put 2 wholes right here, okay? 2 wholes. And then 2 wholes right here. We're writing it as a fraction up here and a decimal down here. Now, we put a decimal point between our wholes and our parts. So let's put a decimal point. We do not need a decimal when we're writing a fraction, okay? Now, let's count up our parts for the fraction. Altogether, there are 100 blocks. That goes at the bottom, yes? And then the shaded part goes at the top. How many are shaded out of how many total to make a whole? So remember, when we count a whole row, that's 10. So this would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65 out of 100. So finish this fraction. What decimal does this model represent? Well, we need our tenths place. Those are the tenths. Remember that TH at the end? Tenths. Tenths and hundredths. Tenths because it takes 10 of these to make a whole. Hundredths because it takes 100 of these little squares to make a whole. So how many tenths and how many hundredths to finish the decimal? Moving on, don't forget we've got our IXL skill codes here if you want more practice on something in particular, okay? All right, how do we multiply by tens and hundreds? Remember, all we're doing is adding eggs. We're laying eggs, okay? So on this side, we're going to be laying 1 egg down at the end for all of these. On this side, we're laying 2 eggs at the end of the number. 2 eggs, okay? Now you go back and you do this number times 1 because we've already laid the eggs. So this number times 1 is just this number. So we're going to write this number right next to the 0. It has a 0 in it. So you have to put that 0. This 0 is the egg that was laid. So don't forget, if this one ends with 1, 2, 3 zeros, you have to have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros in this number and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros in this number. Okay, so once we get our numbers copied down next to our eggs, don't forget to go back. A lot of you in this last lesson where we had one of these, you did not go back and put your commas in. Or you put your commas in the wrong place because you probably did not watch this video. You need to start back here in the back of the number and count 3 places in and then put your comma. 1, 2, 3, comma. Start with this one. 1, 2, 3, comma. As soon as you add another number to these, which is another egg, that comma has to move, okay? So you cannot copy these commas down where they are. So we're going to put the number 7,000 in front of this 0. 3 zeros for those 3 and a 7. That comma can no longer be here. I have to start counting from back here and count 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Put the comma. Okay, now I'm going to put 3 zeros and a 7. 3 zeros and a 7 plus the 2 eggs that I laid. Start way back here and count 1, 2, 3, then put your comma, okay? You've got to start knowing how to put your commas in to the right spot. Over here, we're going to divide. We have 825 divided by 5. We're going to do blocks in a box. So we need to draw the 800s, two 10s, and 5 1s. Okay? Now, we're going to pick up 5 because we have 5 boxes to put them in. We're dividing these blocks into 5 groups. So pick up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and drop them one at a time into the 5 boxes. Can I do that again? 1, 2, 3. No, I don't have enough, which means these all need to be broken down into the next block. If you have these, what do we break them down into? We break them down into these. So we need to draw 10 of these for every one of these. We've got 3 of them. So we're going to take this one and cross it out and draw 10 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then do the same thing for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then do the same thing for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to pick up 5 of these at a time. And don't forget, we have 2 over here that we can use also. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we drop those one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to keep going. These are not tally marks, so don't go back and give it the little slash. These are not tallies. Okay, I don't have enough to do it again because I've only got 2 of these and there aren't any more left down here to go with it. So I'm going to have to take these and break them down. So what do I break a 10 into? I break a 10 into 10 1s. Okay, we need 10 of these. So for every one of these, we need to draw 10 more 1s. So cross this one out. And 10 1s. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I'm going to take these 1s and I'm going to pick up 5 at a time and drop them into the boxes. I'm going to stop here because I want you to do the rest by yourself. The last video that I did of these, some of you stopped right here because I stopped and you just wrote down a number and the number you wrote down was wrong. Okay, listen to me. You have to be able to do some of this work by yourself. You're getting ready to be in the 5th grade. You've got to be able to divide by yourself. I've done most of the dividing for you. All you have to do is finish it out. Pick up 5, drop them in the boxes. Pick up 5, drop them in the boxes. Keep going until you get all of them done. Then you have to go back and write the number for what's in the box. This is 100. Right now, I want you to put hundreds, 10s, 1s up here. How many hundreds are in one box? There's 100. How many 10s are in a box? Count the 10s, put the number down. How many 1s did you put in a box? Count them up and put the number down. Then you have the right answer in your answer blank. So finish this one on your own, please. Moving on to number 4, how many lines of symmetry are there in this figure? Remember, a line of symmetry is where can you cut it to make this side the exact same as this side, okay? Where can we cut it? So you're gonna keep turning your pencil until you cut it and both sides of the pencil are exactly the same, okay? Count how many times you can cut it where both sides are exactly the same and put that number right here. So you're gonna actually draw a line where it's cutting the shape exactly in half. Right here, we need to label our angles as a right angle, acute angle, or an obtuse angle, okay? Obtuse, right, or acute. So you're gonna label each angle. You're either gonna put an A for acute, an R for right, or an O for obtuse. A for acute, R for right, or O for obtuse. Do that on each corner. Then go back and count. How many acute angles are there? How many right angles are there? How many obtuse angles are there? Then you're going to go back and you're going to circle one of these words. What type of triangle is this? If it is an acute triangle, you will need 3 acute angles, okay? If it is a right triangle, you will need 1 right angle. If it is an obtuse triangle, you will need 1 obtuse angle. You're going to count and see how many you have. If you have 3 acute angles, you're going to circle acute because this is an acute triangle. If you have 1 right angle, you're going to circle right because this is a right triangle. Now, how do we know whether it's acute, obtuse, or right? You need to find something at home that has a perfect corner on it. The best thing for you to use, I'm going to use the angle finder, but the best thing that you can use is a sheet of paper, okay? A sheet of paper. This corner right here can serve as your angle finder, okay? And you're going to see, just draw a dot on the end of that, just color in the corner, and you're going to see if you can get that corner of the paper inside there without it sticking out. Look, it's already sticking out. Do you see how it's too big? It's sticking out over here and it's sticking out over here, this black part. If the black part sticks out, this is too small. And if it's too little to get that dot to fit inside it, what kind of an angle is that? It's acute, okay? Then turn your paper. You want to try to get this black dot into this corner. If it fits just right, it's a right angle. If it fits in there and you can wiggle it around, okay, it doesn't fit just right, you can wiggle it around, then that's obtuse. You would put an O. So your job is to measure this angle, and then you're going to turn and measure that angle and see if you can get it in there, acute, right, or obtuse, and label it.